You're going to write a letter to the newspaper about all the pushy prisoners.
What?
Could always add it to your list of grievances. What was it? Maladministration? Negligence?
I told you, get back to work.
It was a terrific letter. In fact, I liked it so much, I sent a copy off to the newspaper and kept the original myself.
What is it you want?
Forget you saw Lizzie with the Caro bottle.
Do you realise I could drag you off to the governor right now?
What a good idea. I'll tell her I have a signed letter that you sent to the newspaper. What are you going to tell her?
I'd like to unveil the drawing which won me an honourable mention at the Wentworth Annual Art Exhibition.
Yeah!
Good. Thank you. And here it is. Oh! Did you forget something, Gold? It's a discount.
We've finished the tissue typing tests on all the women here who volunteered to have them done. Yours turned out to be compatible. This means, of course, that you will be eligible to donate one of your kidneys to B. Smith.
Ta-da! Well, where's the welcoming committee?
How are you, Mr. Fletcher? Enjoy your holiday? Catch anything?
Yeah, wanderlust. And after a week of fishing, fresh air, and living in the open spaces, I asked myself, what the hell am I doing back here? G'day, Julie.
Yeah. Well, I'll bake you a cake with a file in it.
Oh, this place seems pretty quiet. Is Miss Conway rostered on yet?
Well, she's been around. You know, around the office, that is.
Yeah, well, I better get back into it.
Aren't you going to tell me about the one that got away?
You sent for me, Mrs. Davidson.
Yes, I want you to take this to the storeroom until we decide what's to be done with it.
Oh, well, I think I know what Miss Conway would like to do with it, but she'd have to get a burning-off permit first.
Thought you were working in reception this morning.
Yeah, I was, but there wasn't anything to do, so they sent me back here. So what happened with Davidson?
Nothing, I said.
The drawing, eh?
Yeah, the drawing. She's real wild about it. I tried to explain, but she wouldn't listen to me.
Wouldn't worry about that. Those screws have got no artistic appreciation.
Oh, I hope you're wrong for Dora's sake. Fletch got back today. Saw him a while ago.
Oh, hell.
Oh, so what's the big deal about that? He's going to bark at you. Who cares?
Yeah, I suppose the worst of it's over.
Of course it is. Honey, everybody has a lot of trouble when they first start out. That's par for the course. The only way to hit the big time is to never give up. I mean, you look at Rembrandt. He never gave up. You look at Michelangelo. He never gave up. Look at Werndern.
Who's Werndern?
Irving Werndern. You see what I mean? He gave up. That's better. Hey, do you think Fletch saw the drawing?
No, he's still smiling.
Don't hurry him. We'll all know soon enough.
You really are worried, aren't you?
Yeah, I am a bit.
Are you sure that Fletch isn't the only thing on your mind?
Of course I am. That's enough, isn't it?
Oh, good morning, Mr. Fletcher. How did the holiday go?
Far too fast. Anything exciting happened while I was away?
Oh, no, just the usual rounds of complaints and, you know, nothing's changed.
Yeah, 5 minutes back in this place, and I feel as if I did another holiday already.
Yeah.
What do you got there?
Where? Oh, here. Oh, just a bit of a sketch. Nothing special. I'm on my way to the storeroom with it, actually, so it's good to see you back.
Let me see it.
Oh, it's nothing special.
Well, that doesn't matter. I'm no art critic or anything like that. I'm just
yes,
curious,
but you
that's
wouldn't
all.
really be very
Joyce,
interested.
let me see it. Yeah, it's not bad. It's very good in. Who drew this?
Doreen.
Burns?
She entered it in a competition.
A competition?
Yes, it won an honourable mention.
Where's it come from?
Well, it's been in the rec room.
In the recreation room?
Yes.
So all the women have seen it?
Yes.
And all the officers have seen it?
Yes.
Mrs. Davidson seen it?
Yes, she has, yes.
Tell me, Joyce, is there anybody in Wentworth who hasn't seen it?
Well, B. Smith's been in hospital all the time, so she hasn't seen it.
The Minister's curious to know what you're running here, and quite frankly, so am I. According to that letter that was smeared all over the newspapers, Wentworth could be mistaken for some sort of holiday resort.
Surely you don't believe that gutter press.
I'd no choice, Erica. There were too many home truths revealed. That letter was written by somebody here.
And everything is being done, I assure you, to determine the identity of that person.
Oh, and what have you discovered?
As yet, nothing.
Not good enough. The department wants results.
And it will get results if I am allowed to deal with the matter without any interference from... Mr. Fletcher, if you don't mind...
What is the meaning of... Ah, Mr. Douglas.
Yes, Mr. Douglas.
What in God's name is that?
It's a bit of a sketch.
Yes, well, obviously. Well, Mrs. Davidson? I mean, what the hell is this place coming to? First, we have true confession letters sent to the press, and it would seem by a member of your staff.
The matter of
And
the
then I
letter...
see this thing. What were you going to do with that? Send it to a TV station?
I saw it for myself only a matter of minutes ago. I was just as surprised as you were.
I doubt it.
Mr. Douglas.
Well, this place is going to be tightened up. The minister will see to that.
Mr. Douglas, I returned to Wentworth on the condition there would be no departmental interference. I want matters left in my hands.
Mrs. Davidson, this place is a shambles. The minister wants the Gillespie recommendations to be put into action immediately.
But the Gillespie report's got no relevance whatsoever
I
to our
said
present situation.
immediately. Lock security gates, armed guards, spot searches.
Mr. Douglas,
all officers are to patrol in pairs and to wear identification at all times.
We do not have the staff to cope with these regulations. The last time they were introduced, it caused a strike among the officers.
I've already seen to that. You'll be getting 2 new officers next week. Now, the Gillespie recommendations are to be carried out to the letter. I hope I've made myself clear.
I think he made himself quite clear. Where do we start?
We start by putting that drawing into storage.
Just like Mother used to make. It's one of the reasons I left home.
They must go out of their way to make it so terrible.
Come on, Doreen, why aren't you eating? You gotta use your imagination, love. That white muck there is really Idaho potatoes. And the boiled mutton is really filet mignon. I don't know what we're gonna do with the cabbage, though.
So now it looks a bit like a forensic specimen.
Oh, thanks a lot. I'm not hungry now.
Come on, love, use your imagination. I'll fix it. Waiter, take this back, please. Service stinks at the Waldorf.
So does the filet mignon and the Idaho potatoes.
See you later. I'm going to go and ask Conway for a favour.
Conway? I don't know why she's wasting her time there. The only favour Conway'd do her is to push her under a truck.
Miss Conway?
Not eating, Burns?
No, I finished. I was wondering if I could go and see Bea for a minute.
No.
Yeah, well, it's the only time I've got. I've got to go back and work in the laundry after lunch.
Well, you can go and see Smith in your own time.
But this is my own time. I mean, it must be awful for her being there on her own all the time.
Oh, all right.
Thanks, Miss Conway.
Come on, Burns. If you want to see Smith, get a move on.
Yes, Miss Conway.
Now, why I'm helping you, I don't really know. I don't think Mr. Fletcher will take it that lightly.
Oh, but he's still on holiday, isn't he?
He's due back today.
Oh, I wonder if he's seen it.
Burns?
He's seen it.
And why wouldn't I have seen it, Burns? Everybody in the building has seen it.
Yeah, well, I'm real sorry, Mr. Fletcher, but I didn't think it'd cause so much trouble.
Can't you just forget about it?
Yeah, I won't do it again, honest.
Did you have a nice holiday?
Oh, yes, it was great. Though 5 minutes back here, I feel as if I've been back forever.
Oh, I know how you feel. I could do with a break myself.
Why would you let her draw such a thing?
Well, I didn't get to see it until it was hung in the rec room.
Just watch yourself, Burns, or you might end up with a defamation suit to hang alongside your honourable mention.
Sorry, Miss Conway, I didn't mean
Oh,
to do-
come on, Doreen.
Hi, Bea, how you feeling?
You've got 5 minutes.
Well, if it isn't the girl who's at the artistic set of Wentworth on fire.
Oh, come on, Bea, give us a go. I'm sick of hearing about that. Everybody's been having a go at me.
Yeah, well, you could have picked a better subject.
And I think you could pick a better topic.
Yeah, let's talk about you, Bea.
Right. You feel like a good cry?
You're feeling lousy, huh? Aren't you going to eat your lunch?
No, thank you. I'm sinking fast enough as it is.
Could I talk to Bea alone for a minute?
Burns, you are not even supposed to be here at this hour. Stop wasting time.
What's all this about anyway?
Oh, I just thought I'd come along and see how you're getting on, you know.
Yeah? Well, I spend all day in here with nothing to do, no one to talk to. The only company I get is when I'm hooked up to that blasted machine. So how do you think I feel?
Yeah. I suppose the only way that you'd really get well again is if somebody...
Now, what are you trying to say, Doreen?
Well, the doctor said that you'd be your old self again if we could find you a new kidney.
Yeah. Did he also tell you how long the waiting list is? Could be years, if it happens at all.
Heck, that means that you're on that bloody machine for...
Yeah, for the rest of my life.
I'm sorry, Bea.
That's all right. Just don't ask any more dumb questions, huh?
Oh, come on, Burns, it's enough.
But I'd like
Go
to...
on. I'm not very good company today.
Come on.
OK, I'll see you later, Bea, but try not to get too depressed because, well, you never know what might happen, do you? See ya.
Want a coffee?
If it's no trouble.
No, it's no trouble. Something I want to clear up with you.
Well, you did say you were going to do some thinking about us.
No, it's not that. It's about Burns' drawing.
Jim, why don't you forget it? Now, the whole embarrassing business is over. Or it would be if you'd let it alone.
Look, what I can't understand is how you let it go so far. Why couldn't you see what she was doing?
Because she didn't want anyone to see. It was her drawing, and a drawing can be as personal as a letter. Can't you understand that? Why don't you stop being difficult and stop taking it out on me? Just forget it.
Oh, well, I hope that Douglas can forget it.
Mr. Douglas?
Yeah, he was in Erica's office when I went barging in there with it demanding an explanation. I thought he'd have kittens.
Where is it now?
It's locked away.
Well, throw the key away and forget it.
That's easier said than done.
Jim, you said you were going to come to a decision about us while you were away.
Yeah, look, can I talk to you about it later? I've got some work to do.
You all right, love?
Oh, yeah, I just got a bit of indigestion, that's all.
Must be the pate. Listen, what the hell's the matter with you? Why don't you just forget about that drawing? It's driving me mad.
Shut up about the drawing. I'm not worried about that. I'm sick to death of hearing about it, so just shut up.
All right. But you're worried about something, aren't you? And whatever it is, it's not making you the nicest flatmate in the world.
Sorry, Judy. I didn't mean to shout at you.
Do you need a shoulder?
Yeah. You know, when I went to Davy's office this morning, well, it wasn't about the drawing.
What then?
Bea's doctor was there. And they think that I might be able to donate a kidney to Bea. I mean, all the tests show that we were compatible. I didn't think much about it when we were having the tests done, but now, having part of your body cut away, well, really frightens me, Jude. And I went to see Bea. Couldn't even tell her.
Hey, hang on, love. I don't think that they'd do anything that was going to put you in any danger.
Oh, I suppose not. But Bea sure has got lousy luck. I mean, being as sick as she is and having me for a friend.
Now, what are you talking about? You're a good friend.
Yeah? Got the kidney, haven't got the guts.
Just a minute. What did that doctor say to you?
Nothing much, Jude. Just that I could be a donor. I mean, he didn't even tell me how they did it. Just said that I'd have to make the decision. And I can't.
You poor kid. Have you been fretting about this all day? Why didn't you come and tell me?
What could you do?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure together we can come up with something, love. Anyway, you're in no condition to think straight. And that doctor of yours ought to brush up on his bedside manner.
Well, it's not his fault, Jude.
Listen, why don't you go and talk to Kate? She's a doctor, isn't she? She'd be able to tell you what was involved. What do you think?
Sounds like an idea.
Well, it's the best idea we have at the moment. And at least then you'd know the facts. It might not be as bad as you think.
Yeah. But I still have to make the decision, don't I? And I'm scared, Jude. Real scared.
Looking for someone?
Yeah, you. You got a minute? I'd like to talk to you about Bea.
Oh, what about her?
Well, about her having this transplant operation if they get her a kidney, you know. I just wanted to ask you, well, about the operation.
Well, I'm not a surgeon, but why do you want to know?
Well, I'm a friend of Bea's, aren't I? And I mean, If they do find a donor, I'd just like to know what's going to happen to her.
I wouldn't start worrying just yet. It would be a miracle if they found a kidney this soon.
Yeah. Well, bloody miracle's happened, hasn't it?
You?
Yeah. Dr. Kennedy told me this morning. Although he didn't tell me very much else, and that's what I'd like you to do, explain it to me, because it really scares me.
Oh, there's really nothing to be frightened of, Doreen, really. They'd have to do further tests, of course, on your general state of health. Well, if you pass those, the operation should go smoothly. You know, Dr. Kennedy really is a very brilliant man.
But what about after the operation?
Well, the recovery period wouldn't be too long. You know, it's amazing how the human body bounces back.
Yeah. Well, what about a long time after the operation? What about if I get sick, you know, just like Bea is, and I've only got one kidney?
Oh, I see. That's what's bothering you. Well, there's no denying you could be in very definite danger, but, well, you know, kidney disease isn't as common as you might think. Doreen, I know you've got an extremely difficult decision to make, but...
It's the hardest decision I've ever had to make in my life.
I think they'd find a nicer way of telling us to go back to work, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Are you coming?
I'll be there in a minute. I just want to go to the loo first.
I know the new regulations may make things a bit difficult for you, but the department thinks they're necessary. So I'm asking for your full cooperation. Briefly, they require you to patrol the prison in twos at all times, to wear your identification tags, and a general tightening of security.
Excuse me, Mrs. Davidson, but can we request to be rostered with a particular officer?
No, Miss Conway, you may not.
Mrs. Davidson, is it necessary for 2 officers to escort a single prisoner?
The directive states you must be in twos at all times. The rule is inflexible.
But surely that's going to create difficulties. I mean, considering the staff shortage.
Not according to Mr. Douglas. He has promised there will be 2 new officers starting next week.
Do we know anything about them?
No, I'm afraid not. We'll just have to wait and see. Are there any other questions?
No.
No, Mrs. Davidson.
Very well. I shall see that copies of the new regulations are issued to the staff, and Mr. Fletcher will see that they are put into operation as soon as possible. Thank you.
Oh, this bloody thing scares me half to death. Who's the bright spark who put Sandy on kitchen duty?
Well, thanks. Who else? Got Lizzie down there as well, but they'll be back after clean-up.
Well, what's happened to Doreen? She knows how to work it better than me.
She'll be along in a minute. She's got something on her mind.
Fletch and that picture.
I would think Fletch would be the last thing on her mind at the moment. She's too worried about Bea's operation.
Oh, that's good of her. Bea goes under the knife, Dor does the worrying.
Not quite as simple as that. Seems that Doreen could be a compatible donor for Bea.
Listen, I don't think that we should be...
Terrific. Is that for real, Jude?
Yeah, well, they think so, you know, but it's a big decision for her to make. She's a bit nervous about it.
Bet she is, but she's doing the right thing. That'll mean the world to Bea. She doesn't want to live on a machine for the rest of her life. Gotta tell the rest of the girls.
Why did you say that?
Have I?
Yes, you have, both feet. Doreen only wanted you and I to know about that. She's no hero, Kate. She's terrified about having that operation.
She didn't say it was a secret.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, honestly.
Well, you've really got her back up against the wall now, haven't you?
You wanted me, Mrs. Davidson?
Yes. Judy has finished typing the new regulations. I would like you to give a copy to each of the staff.
Do you want a copy up on the notice board as well?
I don't think that would be wise. It would be too easy for the prisoners to see.
Yeah, I see what you mean. There's going to be enough trouble with them when they find out what's going on.
You and I realise that. Ted Douglas doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he had so much to do with it. I got the feeling it was mainly the minister.
After my last battle with the department, I agreed to come back as governor only if they guaranteed there would be no outside interference.
But that guarantee doesn't cover, what does he call it, true confession letters?
I agree it's a serious matter, but I feel we could have solved it internally. But I feel sure you're right about the minister. I don't think Ted Douglas was being unreasonable under the circumstances.
Well, not until I barged in, anyway. I'm sorry about that. I lost my temper.
Oh, that's all right. The drawing must have been quite a shock for you.
Yeah, it was. I just can't understand how Janet let it go so far.
Well, I don't think it was entirely her fault. She was trying to help Burns. I just hope it doesn't sour her outlook for the future.
Well, anyway, I better get these to the staff. Is there anything else?
I don't think so. There's enough there to worry about.
Here she is, girls. Where have you been, Dor, to see Bea?
I went to see her before while you were having lunch.
She must be real happy. It's a good thing you're doing, Dor.
What are you talking about?
Doreen, what Hazel means
She
is...
just means what?
Take it easy, love.
What do you mean?
About the kidney business. You're giving a kidney to Bea.
Who told you that?
Well, you weren't going to keep it a secret, were you? We're all friends of Bea's too, and we'd like you to know that you've made the right decision and Bea's got a real mate.
Look, Doreen, I am sorry, but you didn't mention it was a secret.
So you had to open your big mouth and spout it out to everybody.
No one's forcing you, love.
Everybody's forcing me. Well, you can keep your congratulations to yourself, all of you. Because I haven't made up my mind. I can't make up my mind, and I'm not getting any bloody help from you lot.
Look, that business with Burns was bad enough. But asking Mrs. Davidson about us patrolling together was crazy.
And why is that?
Well, isn't it obvious? There must be enough talk about us going around already without you asking whether we can patrol together. Now, look, I don't want to be heavy about all
Oh, I'd
this.
hate to be around if you ever put your mind to it.
Come on, sarcasm won't help.
No, but the slight deflation of your male ego might. Now, what makes you think I made that inquiry in the hope of patrolling with you?
Well, I just naturally thought...
Yeah, naturally.
Well, who else would you want to patrol with?
Anyone who was a competent officer and good company. Meg Morris, for instance.
Meg?
Yeah. She's good company, good officer, and I think I could learn a lot from her.
Well, obviously I was a little bit too quick off the mark. I'm sorry about that. But surely you can see what I'm getting at. It'd be pretty easy for people to suspect that there was something between us.
Well, is there? Now, did you think of anything but fishing and golfing while you were away?
Yes, I did, but... Well, this is not the time or the place to talk about it.
Oh, why not? Now, Jim, please don't be so offhand
Look,
with me.
I don't mean to be offhand. Maybe if I came around tonight, we could talk about it at your place.
I have waited all week for your decision. Now, I don't know what I mean to you. I do know that you mean a lot to me. So please, don't shut me out.
Dor, cheer up.
I don't feel like cheering up.
Anyone would think it was a matter of life and death. Well, it isn't. All it means is that Bea'll have to stay on that machine a bit longer. Isn't that right, Jude?
Yes, of course it is, love. Look, Doreen, I know it's difficult, but it's not dangerous. Didn't Kate say that?
She said it was complicated.
Not if Dr. Kennedy does it. It's really quite straightforward.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
What you need, something to take your mind off it for a while.
Yeah, like some hard work.
No, I've been something a bit more interesting.
Like what?
How's your copy hand these days, Doreen?
Good as it always was.
Well, what if we pull Kate's caper? You know, a little collection of goodies from the kitchen.
I doubt there's anything worth taking. The food that comes out of that kitchen's a crime.
Oh, there's a lot in there that we haven't even seen.
Oh, we've seen it all right. We just don't recognise it after Mrs. O'Regan's cooked it.
It's simple. Judy, you can get some requisition forms from reception and Doreen can forge Mrs. O'Regan's signature. Then all we have to do is slip it into the kitchen along with the other forms.
Oh, I can do that.
No, you can't. You've got to keep your nose clean. You're on remand, remember?
Oh, bugger it.
No, Sandy's right, Lizzie. You can't take the risk.
Well, because I am on remand, I can get into the kitchen. Somebody's got to get Mrs. O'Regan's signature.
And how do you plan to do that?
I don't know. Get her to sign her autograph or something.
Well, does anybody have a birthday coming up? I mean, we could get her to sign a card.
Of course. We'll make a get-well card for Bea and get her to sign that.
Beauty! Oh.
See, we're rusted together.
What? Well, I think it's a bad idea anyway, this patrolling in pairs. It's just going to mean longer hours, that's all.
Colleen, it had to happen. It's not the first time the department's forced us on us, and it won't be the last.
Wouldn't happen if I was still union rep.
Yes, well, for the sake of a good working relationship, I think we should get over our differences.
You make it sound as though we're on opposing sides.
Well, we do tackle things rather differently.
There's only one way to do the job. The right way.
Of course.
Good. As long as we both remember that, there shouldn't be any trouble.
The There's no end to what we could get. It's just like having a blank cheque.
I don't think we should go too far, Lizzie.
What we want are things they're not going to miss. We can't take too many risks first time off.
Before we get ahead of ourselves, I think we should do some groundwork.
Yeah, well, I'm due back in reception in a minute. I could check out the forms then.
Good. Oh, well, come on, you lot. Break it up and get back to work.
Yes, Mrs. Powell.
No, not yours. You want it in the interview room. You've got a visitor. Come on.
A double escort. I must be dangerous. Scared I'm like Bud.
My. They must be getting lonely going about on their own.
Yeah, if they're tightening up on security, we're going to have to be very careful.
Perhaps we should put the plan off for a while.
No, we can get it. There's no time like the present. I'll see you later.
Lizzie!
Mrs. Morris.
Yes, Lizzie.
Can I do some kitchen duty, please?
Now, why on earth would you want to do that?
Well, I'm only on remand, really, and I don't have to work if I don't want to. They've got plenty in the laundry, but they're always needing some help in the kitchen.
I don't think that can be arranged, Lizzie. You're in the laundry and you should stay there.
Well, just a minute. I don't see that it can do any harm. She'd probably do more good away from the others for a while.
If you say so.
Oh, Mrs. O'Regan did say she was short-handed anyway.
Thank you, Mrs. Powell.
Okay. Get back to the laundry until I can arrange it.
Good work. Couldn't have done better
Get
myself.
moving, Edwards.
Close and lock the gate, Mrs. Morris. I'll handle this, Mrs. Morris. No need for both of us with Inspector Grace here. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh, that's all right. Edwards?
Well, old Gracie. What do you want?
Just some answers to a few questions.
Okay. But remember, I'm underage.
That's enough of that, Edwards.
Well, that's all right, Mrs. Powell. I won't take up much of young Edward's time.
Why should I mind? I've got all the time in the world.
Exactly. Did you see Megan Arnott the night you murdered her husband?
Oh, hell, you cops have got short memories, haven't you?
Well, why don't you refresh mine, eh?
No, I didn't.
Well, when did you see her?
Oh, look, I don't have to answer any of this. You want to charge me? Go on, charge me. Throw me in jail.
When did you last see Megan Arnott?
Sing us another tune, will you, Gracie?
All right, Mrs. Powell. You can take her back to her cell now.
Right, come on.
Good boy, you're learning. Drop in any time you're going past.
Hello, Mrs. O'Regan.
Hello, Lizzie. Are you allowed to be in here? I don't want you to get into trouble.
Hasn't Mrs. Powell been to see you yet?
Huh?
Oh, she will. But don't worry about me, Mrs. O. I'm on remand. Besides, I'm going to be out of here soon.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Now, what can I do for you?
It's about Bea. She's very sick. Kidney trouble. We're going to sign her a get-well card, and we thought you'd like to sign it too.
Yes, of course, I'd love to.
Oh, good on you. I knew you would.
I never know what to write, though. Everyone comes up with something funny or clever.
Oh, don't worry. A signature will do.
All right, but if I had time, I could probably come up with something funny.
Yeah, we always do that, don't we? But just a signature. Then when I get all the others to sign it, I'll come back here and I'll give you a hand.
Oh, can you do that?
Of course. That's what Mrs. Powell's going to come and see you about. See, being on remand, I don't have to do any work or anything if I don't want to.
Well, I could do with an extra pair of hands.
Extra pair of hands coming up.
It's a lovely card.
Yeah, I made that myself. Hello, sister. How are you?
Fine, thank you, Lizzie. You too, I hope. Not here to see me, are you?
Nah, come to see me, old mate. These are hangers-on because I'm such a dangerous criminal.
Dear, should I be scared of you?
No, not with these two here to protect you. Okay if I see Bea?
Yes, of course. You know where to find her.
Won't be a tick. Read a magazine or something. G'day, Bea. How you feeling, love? Bored. Oh, it's not much different anywhere else. The screws are that jumpy. They're walking around in twos. All the security gates are locked. God, you can hardly even sneeze without some screw asking you why. Look what I got. Do you like it?
Oh, where'd you get that?
I made it. I saw Kate the other day in the garden with a little boy. God, he did look lonely. It's not right for a kid to be away from his mum. So I made him this to cheer him up. Good, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's colourful anyway.
Kids like bright things, don't you reckon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I better come back some other time, love. When you're feeling a bit better.
No, it's all right. I need the company. It's just that everything's such an effort.
I know. But it's all going to be right soon. Now the door's going to help you out. She's a bit upset. Well, nobody explains to me, but Dor...
Hang on. What's all this about?
Dor's going to have the operation with you. At least that's what the doctor says.
Doreen is going to be the donor.
I think so.
Well, what do you mean you think so?
Well, she said she hadn't quite made up her mind yet. Poor little kid is a bit upset, but Kate reckons it's dead easy. And you know, Dor, she wouldn't let her old mate down. You're looking a bit tired, love. Maybe you better have some rest.
Hey, Lizzie, tell Doreen I want to see her, will you?
Sure. And everything's gonna be okay, love. So don't you worry.
How's the patient?
Tired, but okay.
Done the urea test?
No, Dr. Kennedy asked me to leave that to him.
Oh, yes, of course.
I'll take that.
Kate?
Yes?
I was going to give you that some other time, but there's no time like the present. It's for your little boy.
Lizzie, that's very thoughtful of you.
Oh, when I saw you in the garden with him, he looked so sad, the poor little bugger.
Yes, it hasn't been easy for him.
Do you like it? I made it myself.
Oh, it's very nice, Lizzie. Yes, I'm sure he'll love it.
Do you think he'll like the colours?
Oh, I'm sure he will. Thank you. You've gone to a lot of trouble.
Oh, that's all right. I enjoy keeping busy. Oh, I better go, and I'll see you in the dining room.
Bye.
You ready, ladies?
I don't think she's going to eat that. Oh, what a cute little thing.
Do you have any children?
Yes, a little boy of 2.
Perhaps he'd like it.
Are you giving it away?
If you'd like it, yes.
Oh, but it's yours, isn't it?
Not really. Go on, take it.
Did you make it?
Hardly. I think I'm a little more creative than that.
Thanks very much. Danny loves surprises.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks again.
I'll file those for you if you like.
Oh, thanks, Judy.
Pleasure. Well, it's not my day, is it? I nearly filed the requisition forms.
Okay, thanks.
Guess who pinched what from you-know-where?
Oh, you got the forms, did you? Okay, Doreen, do your stuff.
Now, what'll we order? I think smoked oysters would be nice for a start, huh?
Take it easy. We can't be too mad on the first order. We'll blow the whole thing before it begins.
Why don't you ask them to take you to see me?
Look, you just want to get them out of the way. Get somebody else to do it. I've got things to do.
Fair dinkum, I've just been to see her and she told me to tell you.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to say.
Just ask them to take you to see me.
I mean, I don't know what to say to B.
But B wants to see you. She'll do all the talking.
Oh,
Go
right.
on. You got the forms?
You bet.
Beauty. When you reckon we can get the goodies, then we can have a real nosh up.
Who was your visitor?
Detective Inspector Gracie to his friends.
Oh? What did he want?
Just a few answers which he didn't get. Don't like bent cops.
I thought you said the bent ones were the useful ones.
Well, you've got to draw the line somewhere. I don't want anything to do with the bastard. He'd make any kind of deal with anyone.
Hi, Bea.
G'day. Sit down.
Thanks. How you feeling?
I'd be feeling a whole lot better if everyone would just stopped asking me how I was feeling.
Yeah. Looking after you in here, are they? What are they giving you?
Oh, nothing much. Just visitors.
Oh, well, it's better than nothing, I suppose.
Look, Doreen, I know about the results of the tests.
Oh, Bea, I don't know what to do. If it was anything else, I'd be in there like a shot. You know me. But it's a real big operation and I'm scared. I've never been good with hospitals and everything's happening so quick. And now the others all know about it and they're sitting around waiting to see what I'm going to do. And, well, I don't know if I can do it. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, of course you are.
But do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Well, you never know. They might find another donor sooner than we think.
There's, a pretty long waiting list, you know.
Yeah. But you never know what might happen. I mean, it's such a big thing, Bea. I don't know.
Look, Doreen. Even if you decide not to, that's okay. We're still mates.
Oh, Bea.
Oh, come on. Don't go going all mushy on me.
I'm sorry.
Hey. Whoever thought we might end up as kidney sisters? Listen, how's everyone?
Oh, good. We've got a few tricks going, you know.
Good. Listen, I'm a bit tired. Yeah, it's all that stuff they've been pumping into me.
Yeah, okay. Can I get you anything?
No, thanks.
Well, I'll see you later then, eh?
Come on. Go on, get out of here. Stop looking so gloomy. Nobody's gonna die.
What do you think you're doing?
Oh, it's so damn boring in there. Nothing to do. Lie there and stare at the ceiling and think.
That's beside the point.
Oh, don't get your knickers in a knot. I'm not going anywhere. Hey, where'd you get that?
Cute, isn't it? Kate Peterson gave it to me. You know, it's a shame to see her in a place like this. She's so nice.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, Mrs. O, here I am. Now, where do I start?
Oh, you're a godsend, Lizzie. There's all this paperwork to be done and I'm running late with the cooking.
Oh, you have got yourself in a mess now, haven't you? Well, first things first, I'll sort these out for you and I'll put them over there.
Oh, well, don't get them mixed up, Lizzie. These forms have to go in tomorrow. Look, why don't you help Nola?
What? And stop you from getting a tucker? Oh, the girls would never forgive me. No, I'll fix them up for you. Oh, God, now look what I've done. Butterfingers.
Oh, Lizzie.
No, don't you, Mrs. O. I did it. It was my fault.
Oh, very kind.
There they are, all together. Are these the order forms?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, well, I'll just put them over here. Out of the way. Now, what'll I do now?
How are you feeling?
Like a lump of lead.
Well, I won't disturb you. I just came to collect the tray.
I hear your little boy came to see you. How is he?
Well, this whole business hasn't been very easy for him. I just hope he's not too affected by it all. Still, he seems quite happy when I see him. I do miss him.
What's his name?
Gerard, after his father.
Lizzie mentioned something about making a toy for him.
Yes, she made him a toy, but really he's got so many already and he hardly ever plays with them. He's a little spoiled, I think. So I gave it to Sister Franklin for her little boy. I hope Lizzie doesn't mind.
Kate, you wanted in reception. You've got a visitor.
Good. It'd be nice to get some outside news. You won't tell Lizzie, will you? I'd hate to upset her.
Oh, no, I won't say a word.
Thank you.
Yes.
These new security measures are going to take some getting used to.
It's about time a stricter line was taken in this place.
Yes, but there has to be a compromise between strictness and fairness.
Fairness? With this lot? They lost their right to fairness when they broke the law.
You make it sound as if their crimes are all premeditated and callous.
They wouldn't be here otherwise.
Look, I'm not disputing their guilt. I don't think it's as black and white as you obviously think it is.
Yes, and what happens when we loosen up? You've suffered because of their pranks.
Well, it's just what they are. Pranks. That's what happens when you lock people up together. It's part of our job. We have to cope with that.
And if those pranks get out of hand?
Well, if we're fair with the women, that shouldn't happen. I know sometimes things do go overboard, like that letter business, for example. Mrs. Davidson thinks it was one of the officers. That's impossible. Sure, it was one of the women. And I'll be right there dealing out the punishment when the person is caught. I think it was malicious and unfair.
Well, I just think you're too easy on them, that's all.
Maybe I am. But it's better than the other extreme. Hello, Mrs. Morris speaking. Yes. Yes, of course. Fine. That was Mrs. Davidson. She wants a cell search first thing in the morning.
Oh, right. I'm just going down to reception. But I'll be back before we start our rounds. Yeah, I just wish there was another way out for B.
There is. Months, maybe years, dependent on a bloody machine.
I don't mean that. I mean, I just wish there was something we could do now.
All right, what would you do?
Well, I don't know, do I? I'm just saying.
I know. And I'd do it if I was as close to her as Doreen makes out to be.
Well, it's easy for you to say now.
No, I would.
Leave her alone.
Isn't she B's mate? You told me you three were like that.
We are. Just leave her alone. It's a hell of a decision to have to make.
No, Jude. Sandy's right. I have been an awful friend to B. Well, she needn't worry anymore. Because I've made up my mind. I'm going to do it.
Good on you, love. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, we all are.
I'm bloody scared, but...
I want to see you, Edwards. Come with me.
How could you refuse an offer like that?
What was that?
I said yes, Mrs. Powell. Straight away, Mrs. Powell.
Mr. Edgar, how nice to see you.
Doctor?
I'm afraid you'll have to change that to Mrs. Peterson soon. Well, this is rather an unexpected visit.
Yes, there are one or two things I want to talk about with you. How are you settling in?
Fine. Though, like anything, it takes a little while to get used to.
Made any friends?
Hardly the word to use in a place like this. No one does you any favors.
I see. What I meant was, is there anything that I can do for you?
You mean like arranging visits from social workers, a magazine subscription, or getting me out of here?
No, I meant...
What about my appeal, David?
These things don't happen overnight.
Now, just a minute. You have been the family lawyer for as long as I can remember. I am part of that family, David. A family you have a duty to.
All right, all right. I didn't say that I'd been ignoring you. And I'm well aware of my duty. You don't need to remind me.
I'm sure you didn't come here to pass the time of day. If you have something to discuss, let me hear it.
Well, it's rather a difficult matter.
I'm sure it is, otherwise you wouldn't be here.
As your lawyer, I can't be expected to serve your interests unless you tell me everything. Appeals aren't to be taken lightly, nor are they easy.
I'm well aware of that. If it were easy, I wouldn't need you.
Have you been perfectly honest with me?
I'm not stupid, David. I wouldn't jeopardize my freedom by lying to you.
It's not so much a matter of lying as of not telling me everything.
You really do have the uncanny knack of making me very angry.
Look, all I'm doing is giving you a chance to tell me the whole truth.
David, you obviously have something on your mind, so would you stop this legal runaround and tell me what it is?
Well, I've discovered some rather interesting facts.
I hope you can put them to good use.
They may be best left well alone.
Go on.
In the course of my investigations, I came across your account books. And in particular, some rather large discrepancies.
And?
As you say, I'm your family lawyer. And my duty may be compromised by delving too deep. But if I did, I could well come up with the real reason you murdered your friend.
Is that a professional opinion?
No, it's a personal one.
Good. Well, let's keep it that way.
Tomorrow morning, there's going to be a cell search. Now, look, I'm not telling you this to do you any favors. I just want you to make sure that that letter is safe. Because if it gets into the wrong hands, your life will be anything but sweet.
Bit worried, are you?
Just you make sure that letter is not found.
Don't worry, it's perfectly safe.
How safe? Where is it? Shut up, Florance. Shut up!
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here